well up to date. Um, as far as the space, it was small. Amenities were but doable, and it was like a crazy good closet space, washer dryer and unit. So I'm just like, wow, wow. And I'm like, it had that dinge to it. He did. The person I went with noticed a smell that I couldn't quite place. So maybe that was something. Which was funny because in the end, I'm just like, okay, interesting, okay, interesting. I was just trying to be polite, just trying to be polite. I'm like, wow, it's crazy in here, girl. Um, and no, I'm like right on as we exited, she was like doing like a whole rundown of something while we were in there. And I asked a few questions just to, cross my bases. And right as we were leaving, I'm just like, okay, that's nice. And then she said, watch your step. And she pointed to a dead roach right at the doorstep. And I was like, oh. When I tell you, I said, oh. Oh, you don't want me here. You don't want me to stay here. That's okay, girl. Thank you. Thank you. I'm like, you're right. You're right. I don't even know why I'm being polite. I don't even know why I'm trying to pull out all these stops. You don't want me here. I don't want to be here. It was just like, that's how I knew. I'm just like, you don't give a damn. You don't give a damn whether it's me, whether it's you just read the room and just like, she don't want this place, or just generally the concept of like, I don't got time for this, I don't care, yada yada yada. It was just the premise of, you're gonna point out the roach on the floor to me. Either you know this place is not for me, or you genuinely don't want to deal with this shit. And I'll never know. I will never know. I'm just like, okay, so y'all cleaned up in here. But no, she said we didn't. Go ahead and get gone. And I said, you're damn right. You're diggity damn right. Because I said, oh, thank you. She locked the door. She said, thank you. She said, make sure y'all come back for your IDs. I said, okay. We hopped in that car and I said, oh, oh, not even jump scare because I already knew. I already had my own feeling about it. I'm like, OMG indeed. Because I'm just like, why would you tell me if you weren't actually trying to sell something, right? Right? Is it just me? Is it just me? Is it just me? If you weren't actually trying to sell something, why would you say that? So I can only assume it's like, she's just being polite. Let me just tell her the real tea. No, girl, we got roaches. No, girl, I really don't have time for this. No, girl, I really don't care. And I don't care if you were on time or early or whatever for your appointment. I don't want to deal with nothing. And yes, we need our leasing office locked because there's fucking thieves and whoever. And yes, no, 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 don't do it. So I said, okay. Um, the entrance was hard enough. I was just like, I had my own qualms. I had my own qualms about it. I had my own, yeses and nos, mostly nos. And I was just like, yeah, but, let's be humble. It's like, no, don't be humble. Don't be humble. Just go do what you need to do. And just talking with the person I went through, I was just like, that's crazy. He was just like, wow, yeah. No. I'm like, no, that's a no. And then the funny thing is, she had this whole vibe this whole time. The whole time talking to her was just like, can't be bothered, can't be bothered. I come back. They buzz me open to open the door. I come back. She's got a big old smile on her face. Big old smile on her face, talking to the other person. The other person's looking at me like, oh. And she's looking like, hey. I'm like, you're crazy. I'm like, wow, good to know. Good to know, 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 good to know. Because whether or not it's because of, you know, this place ain't it, or whatever you had going on in your day, there was like whether it was even my choice or not, that wasn't ever gonna be no nothing, girl. That was ever going. She said, "I'm trying to get my day done. I don't care who you are. Come in, get out. Come in, get out." And I'm like, got it. You weren't even gonna try to sell this place. You weren't even gonna try to do nothing. You were just gonna be like, well, I'm like, if you like this, you're dumb. I'm like, got it. Oh my god. So yeah, that was just that was just that was just one of the few times. The first time it happened where I'm just like, who? Y'all not doing what? What? I'm like, this one's interesting because it's not as long as the rest, but it's right in the back. It's so weird. In the biggity back. So that was the story time of that. We went off and saw. We actually perfectly had the time to see one more unit that I think I would reapply to. Probably later this year. Because I'm just like, it wasn't bad, but the unit I saw wasn't the unit I wanted. Or more like, yeah, basically. The unit I wanted was smaller, but it was cheaper. So the one they had available was bigger, but it out my budget a little bit. Or pushing my budget. And I was just like, I'll get to be closer. I'm going to go for my closer point. And they said no. So I guess when I get my ducks in a row some more, because I don't have time anymore to try to look for more apartments. I was either going to be out this month or next month. And don't got the time to be playing with that. So I'm just going to keep this one for another year or two. Not be able to save as much as I'd like. But hopefully help me save some more money and make some more money. Make and save some more money from jobs. And then I've got some ideas in the way about just learning curves and stuff like that. But that's more processes too. There's just a lot of... I've been going through a lot of changes, but that's been happening since 20... I'm like 20... 50... 2009... 2011, 2000, but yeah, so it is what it is. And boy howdy, I think I am gonna make this food. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do that after this. If I have one more story time, I'll try to... Oh, I could talk about the first one, I guess. The first one was a doozy. Because that was... Like, these are all the times that all the times that I've scheduled my appointment are each time where I'm just like... Maybe not each time, but definitely like, oh my God, what's your problem? Hello? Are we good? Do you have something to say to me? But it's I don't know what's going on there. Like, they're bots, and then they're people, and then the people are rude. And I'm like, okay. So this one, this was one of the first apartments I viewed. I think it was my first apartment viewing from this new journey. And I was we were early, like 5-10 minutes early. I went with a relative, and she was really standoffish. Like, she was just really standoffish. I remember we walked into there. There were 2 women there, 2 people at the front. It was empty in there, and they looked at us like they've never encountered a person who walked into their place before. I'm like, oh. I'm like, hello. Hello. And they're like, hello. I'm like, what the hell? Oh my God. I'm like, what the hell? That's why I'm just like, what is going on with y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Tell me. Tell me what's going on. Why are you looking at two potential customers as if as if they're just as if they're just like some freaks. Some crazy golems, some monsters that you ain't never. I'm like, greet. I know what to do with this shit, and I'm like, what the hell? And that's the thing, like, all these situations, there are people that are older than me. I know for a fact they're older than me. It's not even just on the it's not even just on the looks. It's just, how you carry yourself, everything. Yeah, you also look older than me. I know my age and I know what I look like, okay? You're older than me. Okay? Act right. You grown. Um so I'm over here just like I'm like, "Hello. I have an appointment. I would like to see an apartment." She's like, "Okay." And then I get basically like ushered over to one, like whoever responded first. I'm like, "Why are y'all acting like what the fuck? Did I not move my appointment? What's going on?" Like it was scheduled one day and then moved to another, but still, I'm like, there was no other point of there. The point of contact was a bot. It was a robot. I only found out that these are robots after my other attempt at somewhere else. So there's no actual point of contact until you get there. Theirs leasing office wasn't locked, unlike some, but still, I'm like they look at you like you're insane for even stepping in foot. Um, so we walk over. I'm just like, yes. She's like, what are you looking for? This is this. I'm like, okay, this is that. I have a question about a fee, and she immediately starts like yelling at me. She's like, nope, that's not that. This is that. This is that. Nope, nope, because that's that. I'm just like, okay, okay. I was just asking, and she's like, okay. So yeah, so I'm just like, and I'm looking at. I'm like, that was weird, cause why are you yelling? Why did you start yelling at me? Are y'all good? Like, are these leasing options good? Like, what is going on where they're feeling like, I don't know, they're getting so, I don't know if it was just the day, I don't know if it was a moon, I don't know what was going on in their lives, but the art of leasing agents is gone. It's just the point of that, I'm like, we've all had customer service jobs, why are we acting like, oh, I guess we haven't. Oh, okay, I guess we haven't. Oh, okay, maybe I guess we haven't. I see. So, yeah. Um, basically, oh, one half, one fourth done. Let's see what I can do. Um, basically, she was like, okay, so she didn't have the accent. She said, what are you looking for? I'm like, this. She's like, okay, I can't show you this, but I can show you this. And I said, okay. Um, um, yeah, for the most part, quite standoffish, but I think my relative complimented her, and she took it, I guess, mildly okay. I don't know. She's just standoffish as hell. I'm like, this is really weird for people trying to sell units or at least homes. Like, it's one thing if it's like a whole house, I guess, but no, you're still a leasing agent, huh? You don't, huh? I'm like, you still gotta have some kind of personality, some kind of personability to relate, to be able to like, hey, to sell something. What are we talking about? I'm like, damn, should I take your job? Y'all not doing it. Y'all not doing it. Give me a job. Give me a job right now because you're not doing it. Um, so yeah, she was pretty standoffish, and mind you, this was my appointment. I didn't just walk in. These are both times where I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I'll make an appointment to be like, efficient and make sure I get my time slot. Doesn't matter apparently. Um, when she was just like, all right, you can, go out in your car, get your IDs, whatever, and then you can follow me. I'm thinking she's peeling out of there. to just meet us there, but I guess she pulled off to the side. I think that was just the setup of the place. Which, yeah, the entrance wasn't that great. I'm like, you're right. You got to be speedy in all these places with the terrible customer service. If they have terrible customer service, then their entrance is bad. It's not that every entrance is bad, has terrible customer service, but it's likely bad. that's my that's my take. My not true, but maybe true take. It might be true. I don't know. um so I gotta look for a little bit, but it's all right. When we get to the unit, she lets me look around for a little bit, and she's like patient at first, I guess, but then I don't know. My sibling tries the. Oh, you know what? It was a point of that things weren't ready yet. Things were still not ready yet, as far as just like there was still some maintenance that needed to be done on this one. And if it was a showing one, then yeah, that's a bad sign. But um, as far as yeah, I was like, I think we were just checking it normally. She's like, yeah, it's not completely ready, but I can show you. And it's like, okay, it's not that serious. I just want to know the space. But yeah, if it's not completely ready, then yeah, it's a bad time. It's a bad sign for your maintenance. That's just a red flag. I don't know what to tell you. If you have to say that, then yeah, it's probably a bad time. You either need more maintenance people or, um, I don't know, an easier way to do things. Or just a more reliable maintenance person, who knows? But that's just the trick of the trade of apartment complexes. But it's one thing if it's just like, hey, it's not ready yet. I'm like, okay, sure. And then it's like you're giving me an attitude for checking things. And I'm like, I gotta look at stuff still. Like, even if it's, like, if I know what it looks like not ready, then I'll know what it looks like when I'm moving in, if I so desire. If I so desire. If you've been accommodating enough for me to want to move in this bitch. But, that one was pretty, but she really did. I'm like, I personally would have picked it if I didn't feel like that was gonna be terrible management and terrible people to deal with on a regular basis. So in that case, we were looking around. It wasn't that long. I think it was under 20 minutes. Um, and then she started being like, yeah, well, yeah, okay, well. And then she was just like, okay, can we speed this up? I have another people to view. And I'm like, okay. And I was just like, oh, I haven't looked at this yet. I haven't looked at this yet. I'm like, it was under 20 minutes for sure. And then it was just like, dang, all right, I guess I'm out. I'm like, I wasn't really expecting it to be like an hour long exactly, but damn. Okay. And I'm like, if this has to do with like the scheduling situation, what the fuck you want me to do about that? Because now I don't want to be here because y'all rush people out. Now I don't want to be here because y'all got attitudes and you rush people out. So the entrance was rough, but it was something that's the thing about my looking situation. I wasn't there were some things I was willing to forgive as long as I wasn't gonna have to, you know, have too many things to deal with on the side. Like if the place itself is nice but the entrance is rough, okay, I can work it out. I'm like, I'm gonna have to be really mindful about how I pull in, how I leave, if this is worth the payment, yada yada yada. Now, if it has problems in its own, structure, and on top of that, management are assholes, mm, there's only so much I can give, If it's just like you're gonna be an asshole management and your structure sucks, wow. You don't got much to lose, do you? I don't have to listen to you because you're just going to make my life a living hell. But if you're going to be like, okay, or at least this is how I think about it. This is how I conceptualize it. This is how I make it make sense to me. But if there's if there's structural stuff and management is really cool, and it's like, okay, the possibility of this stuff getting fixed is one thing. But on top of that, at least they're going to be really understanding and forgiving about certain things. But if you're gonna do the whole like, y'all can't waste my time, yada yada yada, da 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 da, I don't have da 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 da. I'm like, how do you treat the people who are living here? Probably not that great. I'd hate to have to deal with you every day. Like, imagine somebody yelling at you for any reason whatsoever if you have a question. Hell no. Hell no. And it's like, you can have whatever misconstrued ideas you have of people. You gotta at least make sure you treat them like people, right? If they give you a reason to stop treating you like people, alrighty, then you can switch that on. Or at least that's how I do it. But if they're given nothing but kindness and maybe just a little bit of stupidity, you gotta have grace. Well, I guess you don't gotta, but how do you expect them to have grace for you? Now I think she's a bitch. Now I think she's an evil woman who's just bad at her job and doesn't care about shit. But, I could be wrong. She could just be having a bad day. She could just be having a bad day. So yeah. So that was just one of the things dealing with possibly moving. I was going to move. I was really excited for it. God said no, so I said, okay, I'll make it work. And I will. I will continue to make things work. Ooh. Okay. Other than that, it was like a little bit of movement in my job, but now it's looking like the movement that I was hoping to have isn't as lucrative as I thought. It's more like either being demoted, but more hours, or crazy hours and being promoted. And I'm like, For someone who's trying not to get burnt out and trying to save, like, I gotta be mindful. And even then, that was more so because I was moving and I need to make more money anyway. So I do need to make more money still. So since I'm in the same place, I could still do crazy hours, I guess, but crazy hours in a place that won't really, I don't know. That's a different problem. That's a different problem that I cannot necessarily fix or even really talk about too much. But it doesn't feel as not even growth. It just feels, I don't know, I'm getting nervous based off of how they've been moving and things like that and just handling certain things. I'm like, okay. It doesn't feel as secure. It doesn't feel as secure as I thought. My work ethic is still pretty good, but even then, I don't know if that means much. I really truly don't. But on the bright side, I know how to coast for a little bit, or at least just make sure I'm still doing what I need to do and not be cut. But it's looking like I gotta start shopping again. Job shopping. Oop. But also, I have been trying to be more on top of what I really want to do with my life. I'm trying to be more on top of things like this, things that bring more joy and self-expression. I have been severely depressed, I realize, for like the last few months, but it hasn't been, it's been more detrimental in how I express myself. How I take care of myself, yes, but definitely more so how I express. So I miss doing like really cute looks with my hair and stuff, but I've also just been way too tired, way too burnt out to even just upkeep it, let alone to even just wash it. Yeah, upkeep. Let alone actually doing something cute. Something cute other than just putting a wig on. Even the wigs I don't feel like doing. So I'm like, that is not a good sign. But we're back a little bit. She's coming back. She's coming back. Oops. Um. Um. But in the meantime, there is more updates too, as far as romantic life too. But I've just been thinking about how, um, basically the concept of being able to like being in the flow of that too. I'm like, oh, don't play with me. The being in the flow of that and still healing from something else, you know? And I'm reminding myself that, or at least I'm being reminded that I can get what I want in all aspects of my life. But it's also still so jarring, you know? And still being like, man, um, nothing's made to last forever, I guess. But I'm still, I don't know. There's like hopes and fears that I will continue to have for the rest of my days. But also, boy howdy, it's just all so surreal. It's all surreal, that's how it feels. And it's just the feeling of being over something or having to be over something, knowing that it's over, it's done. Um, Understanding that I know why it's over and done, and I don't want that version of it back. Um, it's hard to even say that I want it back, but realistically, I have to be mindful about my own feelings. Um, but even then, I have a better idea of what I want. I've always had a better idea of what I want, whether through trial and error, or just knowing what I want for myself. So having that knowledge, um, being able to see it, being able to stand on it, and and back to back to back, every opportunity, being given opportunities after opportunities to stand on it. Um, it's jarring. It's jarring, but it's also very thrilling. And I'm realizing how fast I'm moving in that understanding, in that lifestyle, and just being like, yep, yeah, that's what you got to do. So yeah, that's just the update itself is just, yeah, there's just another motherfucker who wants my loins, and it's really up to me on whether or not I give it. And there's gonna be far and far and wide, people will want my loins, my little loins. But I still get to stand on whether or not I want people in my loins and in my business. And each time I get like a reminder, you know, not everybody has the same level of um I was gonna say self-respect, but I really meant um 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 what is the word? Not it's not self-respect, it's like self-restraint. Like people's wants are different than yours, yes. Self-restraint, how their boundaries, all that kind of thing is. Um but realizing that I have my own self-respect and knowing that I too have those things has been really eye-opening. Because as much as, you know, being a little PYT, being a PYT, you gotta be really strong. You gotta be really headstrong. You gotta be really ready to have people try you constantly. And be like, you don't know what you want. I could be yo, I could be yo, I could be yo. And that's where I'm just like, yeah, could be. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I need action. I need action beyond that. Action, not about the road to we, no, 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 no. Action, no, 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 we, I need some action, tender satisfaction. I need, my chemistry is flowing. Whatever, chain reaction, whatever. So that's just um, the lessons I'm continuing to learn. I'm feeling that pull between knowing something's done and knowing something better is coming and is here. You know, it's just the acceptance level of it. But it's the acceptance level of it. And that's where I'm realizing that I'm still not as ready as I'd like to be for a lot of shit. But me knowing my readiness is causing me to be more ready, if that makes any sense. It's helping me get more ready. With every setback that I think I'm getting, I'm just getting another lesson. I'm just getting a better understanding of what I need to do next. And as scary as a lot of this shit is, as scary and as saddening sometimes, it's also so necessary. Because if I were like any of these bum ass niggas, I'd be spewing and laying in my shit all day. And I wouldn't get to understand myself better. I wouldn't get to actually grow, and I wouldn't get to actually achieve the dreams that I'm about to achieve, that I'm continuing to achieve. And even then, I still got to be on top of my shit, because even just doing lives, even just posting videos, I'm like, if I told y'all everything going on right now, not only would it be just a whiplash back to back and just constantly, I'm like, dang, what is going on? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But I have cute looks sometimes if you want to see that. I feel like I just have to dedicate myself to those little moments and just be ready to just do what I can with the big moments. Because with the littler moments, I'm like, all right, I may not be able to give you a full hour-long session or just yap session or whatever, but I gotta be more prepared to just say what I got in the moment. It may not be long. I may not get a lot of views every time, but oh, my arm. Oh, no. She's forsaken me. Don't do it. Okay. She's back. Yeah, I just gotta get ready to have the smaller moments in life too. I may not get the full shebang, but I realize I just found out how to save these. So maybe it'll just be easier to upload later. I beg and plead. Because if I have to find out that I won't be able to save this one either, I'll be so mad. Whew. It's 5:45 now. I'm considering taking a little break for multiple things. Food and something else. I want to share my experience with my latest new, I'm going to say mind opener. But even then, it was not as good as I thought. So I'm going to try again today. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to eat this. Remove the space. Remove yourself from my space. Thanks, ho. Thanks, ho. Anyway. Man, the timing is crazy because I'm about to leave. I'm gonna go get something to eat real quick. When you get a notification that I'm back, then I'm back. Probably next time is gonna be a lot less talking. I hope that's okay with you. I'm going to get this Netflix going. Maybe you'll have some, like a nice view. If I feel like talking, I'm going to talk. Which is going to be pretty easy because I be yapping. But I'm definitely going to leave Netflix on. I'm thinking JoJo, but if y'all have any ideas, let me know. Part of me wants to be like, text me. But if you got another mode of communication, that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna try to I'm thinking about putting on a little. Well, I'll do that while I eat. I'll do something else while I eat, and then when I come back online, then it's go time. I want it to be something everybody knows. Maybe Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah, maybe Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for your visage. Thank you for listening. I'll see if I can come back for this. If not, same day, tomorrow. Thursday, I need to post a short on the youtube.com. So hopefully there'll be a short tomorrow because I gotta. Then Saturday, I'm going to post a video. I have a video coming up. I'm doing a lot of throwbacks right now. I got to get them off of my devices. But this will likely be another video. I would say every other Wednesday, but last time I did this was a month ago on a Wednesday. I'm going to say every other Wednesday, if not one Wednesday a month, I'm going to do a live. If I get more traction, I'll likely do more. But yeah, I'm going to catch me on the YouTube. Catch me on the YouTube, buddy. Okay. I'm going to see... Oh, yeah, and TikTok, I guess. TikTok, same name. Xiaohongshu, same name. I actually got to get back on Xiaohongshu and learn I got to get back on my Zoom, get back on my Mandarin. So that's coming. I got to post more on there. But maybe we'll just stick to the lives. Every Wednesday, something short. I'll try. Because these last few weeks have been rough. As far as scheduling, as far as being on top. I haven't even been posting, and I gotta do better. So, see you later. Check out the link or whatever. Link in bio. See you later. I'm gonna get something to eat. If I don't come back in an hour, call my mom. Just kidding. Don't do that.